Hello and welcome to another video. I will not be speaking through cutscenes and do not have a lot of time to explain at this point, but if you stick with me, I will explain everything. Welcome to Let It Die.
In the year 2026 AD, the Earth Rage tectonic disturbance occurred around the world, splitting the Earth into 4 terrestrial masses. Domination, war, disaster, and famine broke out in the Four Lands, and mankind fell into disarray. In the center of the world, a single tower rose steeply into the sky. It was a great structure looking down upon the Earth from the heavens above. People believed that it held the key to the future. It became known as the Tower of Barbs, a place at which one could come closest to God.
Another new arrival. Looks like things are about to get busy around here.
Waiting for you. This is your first time riding line 15, huh? I know, it's not a very well-known line, I admit. Anyway, this is the last stop.
We're 2 minutes in and we are finally in the world. So, hello everybody and welcome to Let It Die. Now we're finally actually in the world of Let It Die. Let me just quickly explain what's going on here. So this game is a free-to-play roguelike hack and slash survival game. Or at least that's what I read on Google. Anyway, what do I think this game is? I think it's absolute torture. You make your way up the Tower of Barbs, seeking whatever may be up at the top. You start at the very bottom, being B1 for basement 1. That is our waiting room, I believe, and you make it all the way up throughout the floors. I do not know how many floors there are because I've never made it to the top.
Oh yeah, here, take this. It's called an underwater Rolodex, and it's super important. I forgot to mention, my name is Uncle Death. I have a feeling we're gonna get along just fine.
I believe the game came out in 2018 and I believe I found the game in 2019, so it was very early, back on the PS4. Now a lot of things have happened to me in life since then, and I'm not gonna lie, the first time I played it, I got to like level 5 and then I stopped playing. As soon as I got the PlayStation 5 recently, I downloaded the game again and started playing it off stream. And well, I'm now at like level 9, like floor 9. So I thought maybe it might actually be worth getting into and making a video about. The video that you are currently watching has been made on a new account that I made on Steam specifically for this video. Literally just made the account for this. The other videos are going to be made from my PlayStation account as I am further along and the game runs a little bit nicer on there than what it does on my PC.
Hey, Senpai, it's me. This device here, as all the cool kids call it, is a smartphone. I'll be keeping in touch.
I'd like to just very quickly say, this is a tutorial, yes, but we are not in the game yet. You have no idea this game is so cool. We are basically just going to run through this tutorial section as if I was playing it for the first time. On my PlayStation account, I haven't played it for a while. There are things in my like rewards box from like 900 odd days ago, so yeah, that one's a little bit of an issue on that one. So I decided to just play this as if I was a new player, finding out things exactly as you would find it out if this was the first time playing the game, mainly just to refresh my mind, but also just in case there's anyone out there that has never seen this game before, you'll be able to find out exactly how this game starts.
Yeah, let's go. Your first enemy is up ahead. Go ahead, Senpai. There are 3 levels of punches. If your heart rate gets too high, you'll start to get exhausted. So take it easy, buddy.
As I mentioned before, any video after this will be taken from my PlayStation account. There are multiple reasons for this. One of them is just mainly me. It took me so long to find out the button to be able to hit with both hands. And to be honest, I'm not really willing to put the time in to learn how to play it on PC when I'm just about learning how to play this game on PlayStation. But with this account being open, anytime in the future, if I change my mind, I can come back to it. So, you know, it's not like completely off the table, it's just off the table for now. I'd like to get a little bit more comfortable in the game before I attempt to learn how to play it with so many buttons. If you actually Google Let It Die, you will actually see that on August 31st, 2026 at 7 PM PDT, they plan to shut down the online servers. But unlike many other games, this one has a preservation plan, an offline mode essentially. So even though the game is not going to have any more updates, anything like that, the game will still continue as it is. And that's actually a really brilliant thing for gamers. I think a lot of other studios should take this into consideration. Now, with that being said, let me just explain. They're not just shutting the game down because it failed. This game has been online. Hello, Zero. This game has been online for nearly 10 years, and the original, hype around the game has died off, and people have just moved on, which, you know, fair enough, it happens to games. But it's moved on because they've made a second game, so they're just basically focusing their strengths on the second game, but they're not getting rid of this one. They're allowing people to still find this game, and they're also allowing people that are like long-time players to keep their stuff and to continue playing the game, which I just wanted to mention in this video because as a gamer, like, you know, studios need to be doing this type of things. There are so many examples of games that have just been killed, and this game has been killed online, but it's still living on offline. Now, what this looks like, I cannot tell you, like, because I haven't experienced it. It hasn't actually happened yet. But when it does happen, I will be sure to let you guys know. There are plenty of things online. You just have to Google it, or, you know, whatever medium you use nowadays, just have a look up on the game, and you'll be able to find out the plan. Basically, it's just going to save. It's going to be like a save transfer, and the game's going to have no microtransactions. So maybe it'll be a more interesting game. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. Microtransactions 100% don't kill games off or anything. Now, I don't really know a lot about studios, and quite often I do not know the name of the studio that made the game, even though it's shown to me at the very beginning of the game every time I load it up. Usually I just skip through this, but I pay attention, no sorry, I didn't really pay attention to it. I googled this one to find out who actually made this game and to who the other game studios need to be looking up to. So Let It Die was originally developed by Grasshopper Manufacturing and published by Gung Ho Online Entertainment in 2016. That's actually kind of crazy. But in 2018, the core development team split. So they formed their own studio, which is Super Trick Games. Since then, Super Trick Games has handled the development of the title and its updates. And that includes the new entry of Let It Die Inferno. Now, this is just what Google says about it. But yeah, they're the studios that everyone needs to look up to, or in my case, the studio that I need to thank. But potentially, the studio a lot of us need to thank if other studios catch on to this idea. And there could be a lot of other studios out there that I'm just not aware of, but this is just one of the first games that I've come across where this has been the case. And I wanted to just raise awareness and be like, yo, come check out what these guys have got going on, because, you know, it could potentially help the future for gamers. It might actually make popular game studios and people that make the games, you know, it might make them think, do you know what? This game raised in popularity because they did this. What if we da 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 da? And before you know it, the ball is rolling. And yeah, I mean, I'm only a very small creator, but if a few people watch this and take this idea and make their own video on it, and then a couple other people take their videos and make their own video on that, before you know it, the ball will be rolling.
Feeling pretty pumped now, huh? Good thing it wasn't poisonous.
Moving on from the little praise there, we're actually going to be speaking about the game. I know, shock horror. Again, we are back in the tutorial section here on floor 1. The entrance point will not be accessible, and I think this is actually a really nice place for me to come back in. Let's just get through this cutscene.
Hi, wanna give me some of those mushrooms?
But if you haven't figured out from the video already, the Tower of Barbs is a treacherous place. With that being said, along the way there are a couple of people that will help us out. This crazy mushroom lady being one of them. She takes the mushrooms that she collects and creates these things called decals, which have various effects on our character. I will get on to this when we go back to the player base, which is the waiting area, but I'll get into this, but just as a quick overview, the decals do actually increase your chances of survival. And there's another man in this with a questionable look. There's a guy that creates weapons and armors, and again, he increases the chances of survival. Now, the same mushroom that had the effect of putting me in a yoga stance is about to have a completely different effect on this person here, so I can only guess that it's different per person. Now I ask that you remember her for later, because as I said, she is important and she does actually increase our chances of survival. But there is a clip at the end of this video that actually goes into a little bit more depth about all the things that we go over. So we're just going to jump back into where the tutorial is, and I'm kind of going to do like a commentary thing from this point on. But before we get into the commentary, I'd just like to say, if you wish to read these, just make sure you pause the video.
Senpai, can't wait to see your next battle. Who are you gonna get killed?
Now this part of the tutorial I actually remember from the first time I ever played, which is something that I cannot say for any other tutorial of a game. There's not many tutorials that I remember, let alone from the first time that I played. Now playing on PC I was still having a couple of issues with the buttons. I didn't realise that you had to press O to be able to, or I'd only just figured it out. I can't quite remember where we are on that time frame. But this is kind of the first genuine fight that you find yourself in. The two fighting you. This is most common, or at least this is most common for me. I constantly end up finding myself in these positions. A couple of these super moves tend to help out, so I do try to use these as often as I can, as you're about to see. But after this fight is kind of where the game really begins. So I am just going to let you watch it.
Awesome. Wanna try again? Oh wait, let me put the title logo up real quick. You know how these things go. Woohoo!
Let it die.
We do immediately get put into a cutscene here, so just quickly watch this one too.
Thank you for listening to this voice guidance system. Let us embark on a journey of discovery about the many wonders of the Tower of Barbs. The Tower of Barb is located on the tiny 3.7 square mile island of South Tokyo. Legend has it that this island was formed during the Earth Rage tectonic disturbance of 2026. The tower stands at 1,686 feet, the equivalent of a 30-story building with super-high ceilings. Many say that the tower is actually growing with each passing year. Legend has it that a great treasure lies at the top of the tower. As such, many brave people often attempt to climb the tower to obtain those riches. However, none have managed to survive the tower's horrific trials, and thus the tower stands as a grim reminder of the many lives lost in search of this mythical treasure. I hope that you too will enjoy your climb of the tower and experience the many wonders that it has to offer.
Ah, finally waking up. You seem sleepy, so I turned it off. Huh? I'm talking about the Death Drive 128, of course, man. You were just playing it, remember? Hey, pretty cool, huh? Pretty badass? It's the best game console ever, and this game, let it die. It's probably the greatest game ever made. Yeah! The goal of the game is pretty simple. Just make it to the top of the Tower of Barbs. It's like a hack and slash roguelike kind of a thing. Hey, dude, you're a gamer, aren't you? Then you'll totally be fine. Just try it out. I'll set it up for you. Okay, all ready to go? Let's get started! I'll start the game.
And after all of that, we finally get to the game. This is obviously the title sequence. You don't worry, you do not have to play that every time you turn the game on. It's only for the first time. And as I said, that was a tutorial. But welcome to the game. As you see, the first thing you open the game to is an end of online service notice, which basically says what I was saying in the video earlier. If you actually wanted to have a look into that and you didn't want to download the game, you can actually just visit www.letitdiethegame.com and they've got all the information on there. The game starts exactly the same way as the tutorial did, with you just quickly picking a character. I just very quickly wanted to show off all the different models that you could use in the game as your player character. I do end up picking a female character, but that's because I know that it's probably not really going to last that long, and I'm probably going to be back here creating another character soon, so it didn't really matter who I chose. But for ease of understanding, I've gone for the same people that are on my PlayStation account currently. So when I transition over, it will look a little bit like I've just continued playing the game with those people. A little bit sneaky of me, but I suppose it's not really sneaky anymore because I've told everyone about it. But obviously, this time when you join in, there's no Uncle Death, and you just run straight up the stairs. Me still trying to figure out those buttons. We do actually go through this way rather than going through the little hole that was in the wall. You can actually see where the door was if you have a look closely, but this is obviously no longer the tutorial, so we don't have to go up to Ikigara or floor 1 through that way. We are actually now in the waiting room, and that's what this section here is. You don't actually go back through those doors unless you're doing the TDM, which we'll get into in another video. Upon your first time arriving at the waiting room, there will be all of these blue balloons just lay around. Basically, they are to explain everything that you need to know about the waiting room. They go into what the stalls are, they go into how to quit the game. An important thing that it does say on that one that's just disappeared is that if you quit the game outside of the waiting room, your character dies. Some of the notes have really important mechanics like that on, and some of them are just to introduce you to a vendor. Speaking of which...
Welcome. Our express service is all you need to climb the tower. Bring me the materials and blueprints, and I'll make anything. However, I'll be needing some of your things in return. I use that energy to make the goods. Get it?
This is the person that I mentioned earlier with the question for luck. Obviously, he means well, it's just the mustache. Anyways, what he does is provides an R&D and armor and weapons store, I guess. You can bring blueprints and stuff to him, and yeah, he's a really cool guy. Obviously, as you saw, I only have a bat and a saw of some sort at the moment, but in my next video you'll see that there is a lot more that he can do than that. And we very swiftly moved on over to the Mushroom Club, which is the lady that I saved earlier. So let's just quickly watch her cutscene.
Oh, how I've been waiting for you, fellow believer, in the power of mushrooms.
And her stall is very literally what I said earlier. You can buy decals with it which increase certain stats. So some of these will increase your attack, some of them will increase your defense. Some of them give you a discount, so then when you're putting certain sets of armor on, you won't need such a high health or such a high dexterity or whatever it's required. And there's other ones. My particular favorite one is Mosquito, which is you heal 3% of the damage that you do. So, you know, they vary, and there are premium ones that you can buy for the max amount of gold that I can carry at the moment.
Without mushrooms, there's no glory. There's nothing. There's no love. Nothing makes sense.
Or for 10, I can't remember what they're called, but they're the premium currency that I believe will be exiting the game, so we won't really be going into those ones. It is a shame, but hey, you know, if there's a way to farm said premium currency on the offline game, then I will happily buy every single premium decal there is. I know that that little thing with the dolls on it is my challenges, but they haven't been set yet. And this here is my rewards box, so any reward will be coming through here. Anything that I send down from the floors above will be coming through here. What else? If I win a TDM match, you know, any rewards will be coming to this box. And right next to this box is my storage, which I believe I have a look at now. I have 30 slots of storage, so I can only put 30 items in there. And that doesn't mean like I can put 60 of one item. No, I can literally only put 30 things in this. That includes beasts, mushrooms, materials, items of clothing, anything like that. Obviously, I quickly cashed in the gold and bought myself some weaponry. I couldn't buy myself any armor because I didn't have the blueprint. Now, on my other account that I will be playing on, I do have a fair few different blueprints for armor and stuff. And as always, I just went and quickly bought Mosquito. It is one of my favorite decals. It just means that I'm healing every time I do damage. So, you know, what's not to like about that? And as you just saw, there are other slots that you unlock later on in the game. So as I unlock them, I will be adding more to them. But for starters, I think it's probably best that I just put Mosquito on it for now. Finally being familiar with the waiting room, I decided that I would move on into the tower. We instantly got hit with this DH service, which is, I think, works as the respawn like thing. There's probably a couple of other things in the game that it does, but I didn't read it, so I don't know. And this one here is basically every 24 hours you get a present, and it comes through on this little box. That's all that you need to know about this. It gives you a little present, and this is my present. We got an iron hammer for today, which is pretty cool. I believe I actually instantly equip this in my hand, and then we head up the escalators onto floor 1, also known as Ikigara. I would like to mention again that this is the same floor that we were just on with our other character. We have simply gone up a different flight of escalators. So as the wheel that I turned got lowered into the floor, these doors do actually open up, and I think this is really cool. I don't know why there's so many locks, but I guess we're going to find out as we venture through the tower. And that's exactly what went through my mind all those years ago, and it's exactly what goes through my mind every time I see it.
Look, there you are from before. The old you is nothing but a raging maniac now. You have to kill him before he kills you.
This is one of the things that I actually find really enjoyable about this game. So he actually has the equipment that I left him with, so if I'd left him with, say, a bat in both hands and a firework launcher on the ready, he would be using them to attack me right now. So you have to make sure that you are ready to fight yourself as you progress through this game. And obviously, the better equipment that you have, the harder that fight is going to be. I don't even have any armor on, and even though I had weapons, I wasn't using it. But I quickly flipped over to my hammer, and we just saw the advantage that it gave me. Now that cutscene does actually leave people with a lot of questions. It did me, and it probably did you. What Uncle Death has just done there is taken our previous fighter down to the chill room. He's going to chill off for a little bit, and then we will be able to access him and reuse him as and when we wish. Obviously, we'll just have to make our way back down to the waiting room. Now, we could have gone down the stairs and instantly swapped, but I decided that I was going to quickly run through this floor and forage some things like armors and, you know, just some materials and stuff so that you guys can get a rough idea of this game. And then obviously the next one, I think we're going to be on like floor 5 or so. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think we'll maybe visit floor 3 so that I can show you the Cohen boss fight. That was really hard for me to say for some reason. And then we'll go from there. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens. But I have not managed to make it through the entire tower as of yet. And I suppose I should probably make it official and make it on this video. I intend to complete this game. I intend to get as many trophies as I can on that journey, and I intend to make it to the very end of this tower. Now, I don't know how long that's going to take. There could be other projects like my Paradoxia project. I'm going to be making videos for that as well. I'm also going to be making videos for Enlisted every now and then. So if this disappears for a little bit, do not worry. The project is still going on behind the scenes. And if you pop into my stream every now and then, you may end up watching me play this over and over, just to kind of get myself as far through the game as I can. We have just met, and there's one on the screen currently, we have just met one of the beasts that live in this world. I have only ever discovered 3 of them, so I can only tell you about 3 of them at the moment. But yeah, there are frogs, rats, and scorpions. Each one of them gives you different effects. I mean, if you eat them, they heal you, but then if you stamp on them, I think the frogs give you a poison. The rats, I think, give you a strength, and I don't know what the scorpions give because I cannot remember. But the poison ones you can throw, and they usually do damage to things, but these ones apparently don't want to do any damage to anyone, as we'll find out in a second. So I'm going to find out what's wrong with that, and then yeah, I'll give you a bit more of a mushroom guide at a later date. But yeah, some mushrooms heal you, some mushrooms deal damage. That's the main premise of mushrooms. You've got to correctly identify each mushroom and hope that you don't eat the wrong one. I can imagine that later on in the game, some of the mushrooms probably look the same. So I can see myself probably making a few mistakes with mushrooms. I mean, I've already eaten a fair few of the ones that you're meant to sell, but they also heal you in different ways, so I suppose there's not too much of an issue. And yeah, along the way there are other things to collect, just as proven with example right here. There is stamps that you have to stamp on most floors. I don't know if it's every floor or if it's like specific floors. I haven't figured that out yet, but we will figure it out, and I will be telling you guys as I find these things out. Just whilst we have the stamp mini game running, I'd like to go back a few minutes. We did just pick up a comic book. That is another type of thing that you can pick up along the way. It's just basically another collectible. You've got to try and collect everything that you can, basically. The mushrooms do certain things, the materials allow you to make better things, there's blueprints that will allow you to make, that will increase your inventory, I guess. Different materials allow you to upgrade things, so it'll give you better stats, so maybe it's on defense, maybe it's on attack, maybe it's... I don't quite know how it all works like that. It might just be a case of armor. From my memory, the only thing that I've seen go up is armor, so maybe that could be the only thing that can say, but I'm not 100% certain. But as I learn things, I will be like correcting things that I've gone over in this video. Yeah, I just wanted to bring attention to this game, the studio, and all of that. And I do intend on completing this game. I've I've said it before a few times where I've been like, do you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna play this game. We're gonna complete it, and then I never actually get around to it. So I figured now, whilst I'm kind of between projects, I was gonna do my survival hardcore on Minecraft, but I'm gonna be honest, I died so many times. I thought, hey, it's actually reminded me of this game, and I was like, hey, I'm dying so much, I might as well just play a game where Let It Die is in the title, and the whole point is just to die over and over again. I would love to be able to say, like, you know, oh, we'll be able to do this in the least amount of deaths possible. It will be the least amount of deaths possible for me. There's going to be a lot of dying, a lot of restarting characters. There's going to be a lot of, you know, mix and match, jumping from floor to floor, dying here and there, going back and fighting myself. And there's going to be a lot of random stuff. There's also, actually, whilst I'm thinking about it, there is a way that you can recall your body without fighting it. I think it's called a salvage. I believe you have to pay for it, and then Uncle Death disappears, he comes back, and it's the only way that you can get your fighter back with all of the gear on him. If you kill him, he loses his gear. If you don't fight him, then he's just left up there. So, yeah, salvage, I think, is the only way that you can salvage everything. I suppose that's why they call it salvage. But, yeah, I just wanted to mention that as well. One of the things that I do like about this game as well is I do feel like I'm the underdog here, and I have them in every single fight. I am fighting with my fists, and they've got a two-handed axe that is about to kill me. Admittedly, I did just whip out a hammer and smack their skull into the floor. I did tell you this game is gory. It isn't even the half of it. Wait until you see me with the jungle knife. That allows you to cut their head off and catch it in midair. It is very gory, but it is an awesome move nonetheless. I get the feeling that when they were creating this game, the office conversation went like this. Let's make a game that's gory, and up the gore. What will be the story? We'll figure that out later. Let's just make a gory game that's extremely gory, has horror vibes, and oh, did I mention the gore? And then they figured out the story and everything, and they made this into a masterpiece. That's just like my headcanon of the Office chats, but yeah, this game is incredibly gory. Every single weapon has its own superpower, has its own super move, sorry. And yeah, the super moves are lethal. You have hitting someone's head into the concrete, you have cutting the head off and catching it. There's one where you fire an entire round of fireworks into a hallway and just blow everything up. There are some crazy things going on in this game, and the fact that the popularity declined over time, like, I understand it because now there's a second game, people are going to move on, but at the same time, I do not understand it, and I think that new people need to find this game because, oh my god, whoever hasn't played this game, you're missing out. It is an experience. I can speak from previous experience and my current experience of playing the game. It is crazy, and I absolutely love it. I finally made it to the lift, so we are coming to the very end of the video here. We are actually about to drop down into the waiting room. Now, I did have to flip the switch to turn the lift on. I will have to do that on every floor that I access. There are multiple lifts within the tower, I should mention this. Not every lift connects, only the floors that are directly above each other. The lifts work how lifts work in real life. Okay, it's no glass elevator situation, but there are many different columns, and each column has its own lift. So things do get a little bit confusing from time to time, but you know, it is one of those games. As we're making our way back down towards the waiting room, this actually happens in any zone, whether you go up an elevator or whether you go up the escalator. You get a little recap of all the things that you did on that floor. So if you spent like an hour on the floor and you've just been running around doing everything, and obviously this will be for the higher floors where maybe the floor is a bit bigger, maybe there's more enemies, maybe it's not even an hour, maybe it's 20 minutes, and you just have a memory like me and you have no idea what you did to start off with. It gives you a recap of everything, so before you move on to the next floor, you know exactly what materials you've picked up, you know how many enemies you've killed. I just think it's a really cool little thing that they added to the game. And every time I enter the waiting room, this happens. Mingo Head comes over and abducts me. No, I'm joking. He just takes all of the cash and all of the splithium out of me, I guess, out of my pocket, and puts it into the machines that we're about to see. But Mingo Head also has a secondary function, or a first function, that's really his secondary. This is where I'm going to be upgrading myself. So my HP and my luck are the first things that I personally went for. And eventually, I mean, it doesn't really matter which ones you go for. You know, at this point, it really doesn't matter. Because eventually, you're going to end up having all of them. And then, you know, you're going to upgrade way past having all of this. So HP is just something that I enjoy having plenty of, because it allows you to wear different armor sets, and obviously the more HP you have, the more hits you can take. So it's just common, it's just like logic, it's common knowledge that more HP is good for a game, you know? I mean, if you're trying to make it really hard on yourself, don't upgrade the HP until last, and yeah. I mean, good luck with that, but it's not something that I'm here for. I actually want to get through. And yeah, as you come back, you'll notice there are more blue balloons, and these are basically just our banks. This is our Buffalo Bank, which keeps all of our death coin, and the one over here is our splithium tank, and that just stores all of the splithium, or the spilithium, however you say it. I actually have no idea. Yeah. This little room over here, I'm going to very quickly show you the functions of this room. So, if you do not like the character that you've chosen, or if you just want to free up the slot, you are able to get rid of said people. This little pamphlet here, does have a bit of information on each of the different types of fighter. We unfortunately have not unlocked all of the different types of fighter at this point. I do believe I need to make a little bit more progress into the world, and then we'll unlock like shooter, attacker, defender, lucky star, etc. There's 8 different classes, but I'm not going to go into them right now. We'll go into them when we've unlocked them. Oh, I didn't actually do what I said I was going to do. I think I'll go back. The vanishing point is the section where we can access the arcade room. There's the obviously Uncle Death's there. He just activates the room. There's another guy in there. I may be pronouncing his name wrong. Is it Majin? He gives you tips on the game, and he's actually very helpful. He'll give you like buttons to press in order to do like crouching and stuff like that. So if you don't read through the tutorials, that guy is basically your best friend in this game. I believe I just quickly go back over. There we go. I do go back over to here, and I am about to show you the things that I was previously talking about. Come inside the fighter freezer. This is obviously where your fighters are frozen. It kind of says it in the name. This is where they are when you are not actively playing as that character. And this is just me going on because I thought that I had unlocked the different classes, but I hadn't. I very quickly just show you, even if you go in as an all-rounder, you know, it doesn't change. You can still go male, female. There's no, you know, you don't choose a gender for this game. You switch between the two if you want, and have, you know, your male's doing one thing, your female's doing another. But I don't know why I left it. I think I was trying to make something and got disappointed. But we very quickly switched fighters here, so we are now back to the original fighter. This is obviously the guy that we played the tutorial as. Now, I know that I said do not get attached, but if I can, I will try and keep this guy alive for as long as I can. But yeah, I may end up deleting him tomorrow, who knows. I'm going to very quickly show you, you can actually remove fighters, so I only have the 3 fighters here. I don't want 3 all-star, all-rounders. I would like a defender, you know, different things. It's a little bit of a gory process. Uncle Death takes them back to the train, however your imagination wants to put that, but yeah, and then that allows us the slots to be able to make new people. I won't be making another person until I've unlocked different like classes. But yeah, it's just a quick run round at the end. So obviously, because I didn't have any blueprints, I actually I can't make anything new, and I didn't actually collect any what's it called, any resources. I didn't collect any resources, so I can't upgrade any of the weapons. I very quickly go through here because it's just to very quickly show you guys, you know, this takes you back to the arcade. This is a game within a game. It's a little bit of a weird gimmick, but it's cool, I guess. Not many people have done it. He gives you random tips. I can't remember if we get one here.
Let me know if you have any questions. I'll give you some tips if I have the time.
There we go. He's just told us that he'll give us tips from time to time. I believe he's looking at you when he gives you the tips.
Huh?
And then...
Oh, I really don't know anything. Sorry.
This lady does claim that she doesn't know anything, but I know that this is where you get your challenges from. And I believe that I ended this video with the clips from here. So I'm just going to leave you guys to watch this. And then let me know what you think in the comments down below.
One of the many attractions of the Tower of Barbs is that several different types of mushrooms can be found within its walls. There are more than 40 different types of mushrooms waiting to be discovered by adventurous mushroom hunters in the tower. Some of the mushrooms spray harmful spores in excess of LC50, of which a single breath causes the lungs to rot, and in some cases, immediate death. Therefore, residents of the Tower of Barbs all wear masks to protect themselves from accidental inhalation of the deadly spores. A vital skill of anyone in the tower is the ability to accurately identify mushrooms. Failure can mean the difference between life and death. Another one of the mysterious appeals of this tower is the ability to meet the old you after you die within. This is due to the 4 dons that live within the tower. They reanimate the corpses of all who die in their domain, and in turn use them as their own mindless undead killers within the tower. Most visitors are shocked to see that their corpse has been reanimated and is now on a killing spree on their way to the top of the tower. The chance of fighting against your own reanimated corpse is just yet another allure of this tower. Momoko Yamada, 27 years old, also known as the Mushroom Magistrate. She has traveled around the world since she left home at the age of 13. She was once a legendary backpacker known for her good looks. Now, she lives within the tower, obsessed with mushrooms. Every day, she can be found passionately hunting for them. She has eaten so many mushrooms that they have driven her quite mad. However, you can call on her expertise, and she may just create new mushrooms for you, which can help you survive longer in the tower. She is quite popular amongst the mushroom boosters within the tower, and they say that her help gives them quite the advantage.
If you have made it this far in a video, I do massively appreciate your time. We are nearly 50 minutes in, and it has been crazy. A massive thank you. Maybe even consider hitting the subscribe button if you've made it this far. You obviously enjoyed it, or something kept you here. So let me know what that something was in the comments down below. And if you are thinking about playing this game, let me know what you want to know, and let me know what you want me to check out, and I will try and do my best. Keep being awesome, and I will see you in the next one.